Today we're talking about AI video. It is coming to YouTube, it is coming to Hollywood, and not everyone is happy about that. Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief. Ever since February, when OpenAI announced Sora, there has been a ton of attention in AI land on the increasing capacity to create AI video. Now, of course, the story ever since then has not been about Sora, but about all the other models that have been released in the subsequent time. We got Google's Veo, Luma Labs' Dream Machine, plus new models from Pika, and the latest models from Runway. Point is, there has been a huge amount of advancement in the generative video space, and it seemed inevitable that it's only been a matter of time before it would come and infiltrate the other areas where videos live. Well, that is now happening in a big way. Yesterday, Runway announced what they are calling a first-of-a-kind partnership with Lionsgate. In short, they're partnering with Lionsgate to bring AI into the filmmaking process. The core of the deal is that Runway will be creating and training a new model that is customized on Lionsgate's proprietary catalog. They write, fundamentally designed to help Lionsgate Studios, its filmmakers, directors, and other creative talent augment their work, the model generates cinematic video that can be further iterated using Runway's suite of controllable tools. Lionsgate Vice Chair Michael Burns said, "We view AI as a great tool for augmenting, enhancing, and supplementing our current operations." Runway CEO Cristobal Valenzuela said, "The history of art is the history of technology, and these new models are part of our continuous efforts to build transformative mediums for artistic and creative expression." Now, some things haven't been answered about this partnership yet. Specifically, will the new model incorporate other training data, or is it going to be exclusively trained on Lionsgate? Nor is there exact information on how Lionsgate intends to deploy this model. Still, it's a clearly notable deal. It was headline news in Variety and The Hollywood Reporter, and in additional interviews, we got a little bit more about what Lionsgate is looking to get out of it. Burns again told the Wall Street Journal that Lionsgate expects to save, quote, millions and millions of dollars. He also said, "We do a lot of action movies, so we blow a lot of things up, and that is one of the things Runway does." Now, of course, AI in the movie and television industry is an extremely controversial area. It was one of the first places last year where we got actual strikes relating to AI, and there remains a ton of hostility, scorn, and major questions around how AI is going to impact the industry. A lot of that was on display in the commentary around this on X. Neil Turkowitz called it unsavory news and said this is nothing to celebrate. Zachary Berger, who bills himself as the lead creature designer on Avatar: The Way of Water and Avatar sequels, said that International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees members, quote, like myself, were told by leadership that the reason there were major concessions to the studios on the AI portion of the recent contract deal was because the studios were so scared of the copyright implications of the technology. At the time, I and others called that out for being extremely short-sighted and suggested there was nothing stopping the studios from creating their own proprietary AI models. And here we are only a few months later. We know that Runway has trained their AI products on copyrighted content, so even if Runway is providing Lionsgate a proprietary model trained off of Lionsgate properties, it is incredibly likely that it is built off a model with this other stolen content in the mix. Additionally, Berger points out Runway is still being sued for potential copyright infringement, and ultimately he says, "This sets a dangerous precedent of allowing a film studio to ask forgiveness, not permission, of using stolen copyrighted data in an AI product. We shouldn't let this go unchallenged. Unions should be pushing back on this in the press now. We don't want to send a signal to other major film studios that this is okay." Now, holding aside the studio employee impressions of this, others just didn't think it was going to produce good work. Gail on X writes, "Lionsgate partnering with Runway to integrate generative AI into film production is incredibly lame. Again, I'm not going to watch your productions if you can't bother producing it yourself. Expect no money from my pockets, thank you. We'll watch movies made by people." For what it's worth, even if this isn't the opinion that I happen to take, I think that voting with your dollars is one of the strongest ways that people can send signals about things that they don't like. Still, I think to many this feels completely inevitable. It is inevitable, yes, on the one hand, that businesses are of course going to look for cost savings, particularly an incredibly beleaguered industry like Hollywood is right now. At the same time, I personally don't think it's BS that new technologies have always created new mediums for art. I think that if you spend any time on AI Twitter, there is incredible stuff being created with AI video that's going to influence a whole new generation of filmmakers, without a doubt. I think the questions that are being brought up by those in the industry are important, and I certainly am going to continue to follow how this all plays out. In the meantime, though, like I said, Hollywood wasn't the only place AI video was showing up. Google DeepMind also tweeted yesterday, "Our most advanced generative video model Veo is coming to YouTube. Shorts to help creators bring their ideas to life." In an expansion post called "Empowering YouTube Creators with Generative AI," Google writes that new video generation technology and YouTube Shorts will help millions of people realize their creative vision. So what is actually coming? Well, there are a couple things. With the Dream Screen feature, YouTube creators will be able to generate backgrounds for their shorts. Starting with an initial text prompt they write, Dream Screen uses Imagen 3 to generate 4 different images. Creators pick an image in their preferred style, composition, or aesthetic from these options, and with the selected image, Veo generates a high-quality 6-second background video. However, the bigger deal is this throwaway line, at least in the blog post, but one that everyone picked up on. Early next year, we're also making it possible to generate 6-second standalone video clips. The Verge captured, I think, what is the most common sense that I saw. There are some exciting possibilities for what could happen when creators have an easier time making new things. But it's also possible that YouTube is about to be flooded with AI-conceived, AI-written, and even AI-produced videos that all look and sound and feel kind of the same. Most of these new features can be useful tools or shortcuts to slop creation, and each creator will have to decide what they want them to be. However, they conclude, from YouTube's perspective, the company has spent the last few years trying to lower the bar to becoming a YouTube creator, particularly through Shorts, as it tries to compete with TikTok and Instagram and countless other places people make things now. It seems confident that AI can make practically every part of a creator's job easier, and maybe even get them to create even more. Daniel Batal summed up the exciting side of this, saying, "Imagine opening up YouTube Studio and having AI give you ideas for your next video based on what it knows about your channel. Now imagine it generating thumbnail ideas as well." Mark Egan points out, "It looks like we soon won't have to look for AI tools. The tools will come to us." Still, comedian and commentator Hank Green summed up a lot of the other side of this when he shared a Wired article called "An Avalanche of Generative AI Videos is Coming to YouTube Shorts," adding his caption, "Look, I'm having a bad morning and so nuance is hard for me right now, but this is stupid." And to be fair to the "this is stupid" crowd, there are two different reasons that people are skeptical of this. One is all of their qualms and questions around the ethics of AI creation, but hold aside that, I think there's a general belief that this is likely to just decrease the average overall quality of videos on that channel. Now, of course, for that, we'll have to wait and see, and there are theoretically other ways to use AI to also figure out what's good and what people are watching, but whether we like it or not, this is happening. Indeed, if you look, video is everywhere. This morning, Amazon released a video generator, but for ads. Alibaba also introduced a new text-to-video model. One of the more interesting questions, honestly, with all of this, is where the hell is OpenAI? Now, admittedly, they just did release a new model, which has the potential to fundamentally change how we think about creating new models, so it's not like they've been sloughing off. But as Andrew Curran puts it, I thought Sora would get here first. I think that was the sense that many people had. Indeed, when Sora hadn't been released for so long, it's kind of been assumed that that was because they were focusing on a sort of Hollywood use case rather than a general consumer use case. Are we then going to see the first Sora deal announced in response to this in the next week or so? It wouldn't be out of character. And if we do, of course, you will hear about it here first. For now, that is going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief. Until next time, peace.